All right, so we are on part 3 of your silly animal flag book. So I showed you how to do the binder and the cover. Hopefully you looked at Ms. Bodie's video on the flags itself on the inside of the book. You might have looked at that video and been a little confused, but what she really tried to show you there is that each side of this accordion fold could become a page in the book. So for me, that means I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages that my book can potentially have. But the idea of the flag book is not to just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 big pages. The idea is to create these flags. And that's what she tried to show you by putting in these post-it notes. She showed you that you could have a small page on page 1, a small page on page 2, but then another small on page 1 and another small on page 2, and going down the line. And that was the purpose of these post-it notes. So she showed you that by using them, you can alternate the sides of the page. Here's page 1, here's page 2, and make them different sizes. And hopefully when you saw the examples of student work, you saw that with her studio class. You could also, let's say, use bigger post-it notes, so that means your flag would be bigger. Here's 1, and then I would have another 2. And you could show that. It's really great if you have the post-its with alternating colors. So here I have yellow, and then I have light blue. And I would go down the line using those post-it notes. So the flags aren't necessarily that you're drawing on the post-it notes. It just kind of gives you an idea of how you can set things up. So post-it notes are kind of like your rough draft, your run through. So obviously I could use a whole giant piece, and that could be a page in my flag book. And that could certainly fit. You could also take that same page and you could cut it in half, right? So with my book, one page could be here, one page could be here. So what do I mean by that? I cut it in half. So I could have one flag on page 1, but then I could glue this flag on page 2. So you see how it like flip-flops there. That could be the flags. You could also, let's say, divide it in 3. And here's my upcycled prints that I did for the Fun for Friday activity. So if you want to include those, you certainly can. So here could be 1 page. Here could be 2. And here's my 3rd flag. If I want to alternate it, I could glue these 2 on page 1, right? I could flip that over. And then this flag would be on my page 2. And I could draw directly on these upcycled prints, or I could cut something out and collage it on. So these are the different ways that you can certainly use the flags. Now in your project requirement, it said you must include at least 3 drawings of your silly animal in the book itself. Now you're not going to finish the book right now, but you got to put the 3 drawings. So whether you put it one on page 1 or page 2, 3, 4, however you want to do it. You can use markers, you could use colored pencils, you can use crayons, pen and ink, whatever you want to do. You can collage it on. Think about your upcycled prints. You might want to put it on there to make a background, right? Instead of keeping it plain. So I took the liberty and I already made one of my drawings. So here's me as a frog, right? The only thing I forgot to do is add in my 3-dimensional tongue. I'm going to do that again because I really thought that was cute. I'm going to keep the eyeballs though flat. And I'm going to put my frog here on page 1, right? And when I flip it over, I could have my page 2. And here's what my frog, me, as your art teacher, is thinking. Or I can glue it like that, however you want. So I can glue this on page 1, and this could actually be glued on page 3. I kind of like that better. So when I open up my book, I see my frog, and these are all the things that the frog art teacher is thinking. What project should I post next week? I want it to be good. When will I grade? Answer the emails. What can I do to make things less stressful and fun? Right? So here's me sitting at my desk at home, frog version, by my window, and these are all the things that are going through my head for you as students. And obviously I would glue these down and I would keep on going. So this counts as my one silly animal frog drawing. I still need 2 more for the inside of the book, right? So that kind of makes sense. So you have your cover where I used my original silly animal, and then I have my inside. Here's my first drawing. I need 2 more, and you can make these pages, how we said, these flags, all different sizes. Hope that helps.